On the 7.3 day 2, we don't only want to put it in an echelon form and solve, we want to do a reduced row echelon form. So let's get started on that. So first we'll put it into a matrix. Okay. And then let's get an echelon form. So we want 1 and 0 here. So I'm going to do negative R1 plus R2 to get a 0 right there. So negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Negative 1 plus negative 1 is negative 2. Negative 5 plus negative 1 is negative 6. Next, I want to have a 1 right here, so I'm going to multiply this by negative 1/2. So negative 1/2 of 0 is negative 1/2. Negative 1/2 times 2 would be 1. Negative 1/2 of this would be 3. Okay. Now, to reduce row echelon form, I need this to be a 0 as well. So here, I'm going to take the negative of R2 and add it to R1. Okay. So that will give me negative 0 plus 1 is 1. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Negative 3 plus 5 is 2. And I didn't change row 2. Okay, so here I have the reduced row echelon form. So now I can solve. I know that x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3. Number 33, put it in matrix, 1, 1, negative 3, 2, negative 5, negative 6. Okay, let's get this to be a 0, so I'm going to do negative 2 times row 1 and add it to row 2. So negative 2 times negative 2 plus 2 is 0. Negative 2 plus negative 5 is negative 7. Negative 2 and 3 times negative 3 is 6, plus negative 6 is 0. I want this to be a 1, so I'm going to multiply it by negative 1/7. So times 0 is 0, times that is 1, times 0 is 0. So I got 0, I need a, right here I need a 0 yet, so I'm going to do negative R2 and add it to R1. Okay, so negative 0 plus 1 is still 1. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Negative 0 plus 3 is 3. So I have it in the reduced row echelon form here. So I know that x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 0. 41, be careful how you set this up. You know that 1x, 1x, 1y, and 0z is equal to negative 1. 0x's plus 1y and 1z is equal to 4. 1x plus 0y and 1z is equal to 1. Okay, so I have 1. Let's try and get a 0 right here. So let's do negative r1 plus r3. Okay, so negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Negative 1 plus 0 is negative 1. Negative 0 plus 1 is 1. Negative negative 1 is 1. Plus 1 makes 2. Okay, so let's try and get, I have one, I need a 0 right here. So I'm just going to add R2 plus R3 together. So adding those together gives me 0, adding those together gives me 0, adding those together is 2 and 6. Okay, I need this to be a 1, so I'm going to multiply this by 1/2. I'm not going to change these at all, and multiplying by 1/2 gives me 1 and 3. Okay, now I need a 0 right here. So I'm going to take negative of R3 and add it to R2. Whoops. Okay, so negative 0 plus 0 is 0. Negative 0 plus 1 is 1. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Negative 3 plus 4 is 1. Okay, so I'm good here, I'm good here. I just need this to be a 0 yet. So I'm going to do negative of R2 and add it to R1. Okay, so negative of this plus this. So negative 0 plus 1 is 1. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Negative 0 plus 0 is 0. And negative 1 plus negative 1 is negative 2. So now I know that x is equal to negative 2, y is equal to 1, and z is equal to 3. Number 44, put it into the matrix. Hopefully always write that right, because that wouldn't be fun to math. You're going to get this to be zeros here. So I'm going to take negative 2 times R1 and add it to R2. And I'm going to do negative of R1 and add it to R3. Okay, that'll both be zeros there then. Okay, so negative 2 and adding to 2 is 0. Negative 6 plus 1 is negative 7. 12 plus 2 is 14. Negative 14 plus 0 is negative 14. Down here, negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. Negative 6 is 6. Plus 2 is 8. And negative 7 plus negative 1 is negative 8. Okay, let's get these to be 1s right here. So I'm going to multiply this by negative 1/7. And this one by negative 1/2. So negative 1/7 of 0 is 0. Negative 1/7 of 7 is 1. That'd be negative 2 and 2. Okay, negative 1/2 of 0 is 0. 1, negative 4, and 4. Okay, let's get this to be a 0 here. So I'm going to do negative of row 2 plus row 3. Okay, so negative 0 plus 0 is 0. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Negative 2 makes 2. Minus 4 would be negative 2. Negative 2 plus 4 is 2. Okay, I want this to be a 1, so I'm going to multiply this by negative 1/2. Negative 1/2 would be 1, negative 1/2 would be negative 1. Okay, so I'm good here. I need this one here now to be a 0. So I'm going to multiply 2 times row 3 and add it to row 2. Okay, so 2 times 0 is 0, plus 0 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 and negative 2 is 0. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. plus 2 is 0. Okay, I need these two numbers to be zeros yet. Okay. Let's take negative 3. Whoop, I want to do that up the row though. For this round, I'm going to take negative 3 times row 2 and add it to row 1. So negative 3 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3 plus 3 is 0. Negative 3 times 0 is 0, plus that's negative 6. And negative 3 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 7 is 7. And the last one right here, I'm going to do 6 times row 3 and add it to row 1. So 6 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. 6 times 0 is 0 plus 0 is 0. 6 times 1 is 6 plus negative 6 is 0. 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus 7 is 1. I'm not changing these. So I have it in reduced row echelon form now. So I know that x is equal to 1, y is equal to 0, and z is equal to negative 1. Number 46, 1x, 1y, 0 z's equals 1. 2x, 0y, minus 1z equals 0. 0x, 1y, 2z equals negative 2. Okay, there our work starts. Let's get this to be a 0. So negative 2 times row 1, add it to row 2. So negative 2 and 2 is 0. Negative 2 plus 0 is negative 2. Negative 2 times 0 is 0 minus 1. And negative 2 plus 0 is negative 2. Okay. And multiply this by negative 1/2. Negative 1/2 would be 1. Negative 1/2 would be 1/2. Negative 1/2 would be 1. Okay, I want this to be a 0, so I'm going to take negative of R2 and add it to R3. So negative of this is 0 plus 0 is still 0. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Negative 1/2 plus 2 would be 1.5, would be 3/2. And that was a 1 there. So negative 1 and negative 2 gives me negative 3. Okay, I need this to be a 1, so I'm going to multiply this by 2/3. So it'd be 0 is 0, 2/3 times this is 1, and that would be negative 2. I know z is negative 2. Okay, work our way up. Let's get this to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to take negative 1/2 of R3 and add it to R2. So negative 1/2 is 0 plus 0 is 0. 0, 1. Negative 1/2 plus 1/2 would be 0. Negative half of this would be 1, plus 1 makes 2. Okay, I need this to be, I already have the 0 there. I need this to be a 0, so I'm going to take negative of R2 and add it to R1. Okay, so negative of this plus that is 1. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Negative 0 plus 0 is 0. Negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. So I know that x equals negative 1, y equals 2, and z equals negative 2. Okay, and the very last one, number 49, I'm going to show you how to do that in Desmos. I'll make another video and add it to this.
Okay, I'm going to show you how to do number 49, or really any of these, on Desmos. Okay, so if you go down Desmos.com, you want to go to the matrix calculator down here. We want to create a matrix, and number 49 will be 3 rows and 4 columns. I'm going to input the numbers here. So 2.1x plus 0.5y plus 1.7 equals 4.9, and negative 2x plus 1.5y minus 1.7z equals 3.1. The last equation was 5.8x minus 4.6y, and 8z equals 9.3. Okay. So there is my matrix. We'll call it matrix A. We want the reduced row echelon form of matrix A, and there you go. There's your answer. And you can turn it into a decimal or fraction there. So either way works.